So at the end of A Whole New World, you see this beautiful kind of water ballet that's kind of intermixed with the magic carpet. You're going to see V fountains flip and become that fountain and that shape. And then the actual moon gets eclipsed at the very end of this. As they sail off, we get eclipsed and we go into the Color of Fears. So Color of Fears is where we feature fire, a whole new array of fire effects for this. It basically starts off with our brand new character from Princess and the Frog, Dr. Facilier. And Dr. Facilier is going to predict our journey and where we're headed. And of course, this is our journey. We conjure fire. The first fire that we see is actually Esmeralda. She is done as a living piece of real fire, and then she turns into animation. That gives way to the Firebird from Fantasia 2000 that's done out of water and fire. That gives way to a drum sequence that leads to the Chernobog. That's another kind of great illusion that we're going to create. The Chernobog is created completely out of water as a projection piece. And then we end as we go into the stampede from The Lion King. And this will be a very dramatic moment in the show. We kind of turn everything that's been red kind of into this simmering green, and you see Scar kind of come out of it in a mist, and he disappears into the mist. And then you hear that classic line from Scar, Mufasa, the herd's on the rise, Simba's down there. And then you hear Simba, the giant back wall rises up, and then you see these wildebeest start coming down in a very stylized version. The whole show is very stylized. When you get into these worlds, we're not just taking animation from the movie. We do not want this to be, oh, it's what I saw in the movie theater. It's a combination. It's a kind of redreaming of it. So everyone gets to use their own imagination in this show in a lot of different ways, and this is one of them. So as the wildebeest come down, they start to come at you, but they're done as walls of water. So imagine 30-foot walls of water just chasing at you in kind of this wildebeest stampede. We are doing these kind of things. This is one of the wildebeest tests. We're working with a group out of Paris. They're doing a lot of CGI animation. We have teams all over the place, but this is part of the Paris' teamwork. And basically they're creating a lot of the different new kind of stylized backgrounds and things that are coming to life. Of course, at the end of the stampede, we kind of go to a tragic place. We actually go to the world of tears. And the world of tears is a big transformational place. We find poor Mufasa and Simba. And in the world and the arc of our story, it feels like everything's kind of collapsed for a second. And then out of it comes this beautiful song by Alan Menken called So Close. If you know, it's from the movie Enchanted. So you hear So Close and you see these beautiful friendships and kind of couples that are in love kind of come to life. And it kind of builds our spirits back up. And at the very end, we see Belle the Beast and we hear her say, I love you. He starts to do a transformation in the lagoon. The transformation gives way to all the transformational pieces from all of our films. And of course that opens up this kind of, we call it 1,000,000 points of light. And that takes us right into the finale. And the finale truly is the kaleidoscope of color. It's where everything you've seen in the show, the theme song comes back for an epic version. It's about a 3-minute experience where we take this tapestry, this almost like mural piece, and bring it to life in front of your eyes as all the colors and everything come at you with walls and walls and walls and walls of water. At the very end, Tinkerbell arrives. She basically comes back. There's a final saying by Walt Disney that says, if you can dream it, you can do it. She enchants it. Everything's there except the D. You see an orange fountain fly into the actual screen. The D's appear. It comes back. Little squirt's now back in the final picture. And then there's an ending I'm not telling you about. So now, if I have any breath left, I'm going to take you through a little sequence of storyboards to kind of, you guys like how I do fireworks now, we're doing water. So I put on a different hat today. Let me kind of take you through the actual piece of storyboards of the Spring Sprite into Pocahontas. It's about 3 minutes long. This is our composer Mark Hammond singing at times, so this is not the final score. This is a demo that is done in synthesizers only. This will be done with a full 100-piece orchestra, so it's a big, big kind of scale that's coming. So here we go. So as the water reaches up, little squirt hits the top, and this beautiful drop hits, and all the water interacts with it. We start to see it come to life. We see a face come out of it. The face then we see is sort of the spring sprite. She becomes water, she travels to the back in water, and we see the fountains pushing up a giant mist screen that rises up, and it becomes the face of the spring sprite. She shakes, the butterflies fly away. She then becomes an organic piece of water that travels to the front. She makes a fountain come to life that looks like a beautiful flower. She travels over, we see a tree. She enchants the tree, all the tree explodes and blossoms. Then she travels to the back in water, and then she flies across the entire back wall of the lagoon. And as she does, she unveils this 400-foot wall of seamless projection. So this beautiful new piece of background appears. It starts to separate like a multiplane camera. And we fly into it to see this waterfall that starts to bring the river to us.
The water's always changing, always flowing. But people like us can't live like that. We all must pay a price. To be safe, we lose our chance.
So the river starts to come. We use fan jets to bring it to life. It gets more and more the rapids. We see the towers go up in water, and Pocahontas in projection come and crashes into the actual lagoon. We then take her in pure animation and actually she takes us just around the river bend as all the water interacts, making the actual river around her in a beautiful way. As she gets to the other side, all the fountains crash, they splash up, and she floats through this beautiful rainbow. The lagoon becomes a rainbow of water and starts to dance and transition us into the beautiful colors of the wind. They all cycle along into the lagoon. They start to raise up and create this kind of cascade of water. At the top, we see Pocahontas and John Smith. We then, on one sheet of water, see her beautiful face with all the chalk. Behind it, we see their love story played out. We see them fly off the beautiful waterfall, the chalk deer flying all around us. So it's just kind of this encapsulated world that they live through. This is them running through the forest. So all the trees are made with water, and in projection in water, we bring other pieces to life. This is the beautiful butterflies. This disappears. You see this beautiful sunrise. These are 10,000 searchlights that come and crash towards us, and we basically fly out of the sequence. So it's crazy, and hopefully at the end of that, people will do that. So that's about 3 minutes worth of a 25-minute show. It's very complicated. It will take months to program. It is very intricate, and we have the best team in the world working on this. So that is our magical world of color.